Hi, this is Kimberly Elizabeth and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I have Tcmcnab from Cnab Small Claims and Litigations, and she is a paralegal located province of Toronto, Canada. Without further ado, you're finally going to meet my cousin Tcmcnab, and I will go into my computer screen now so you can meet her.
My name is Tcmcnab. I am the owner of Cnab Small Claims Debt Litigation Services. We are a paralegal firm in the province of Ontario in Canada, and we offer legal services. So our legal firm actually focuses on civil litigation and administrative law. So we are typically representing clients in small claims court matters, as well as before the landlord and tenant board in the province of Ontario. And outside of the law firm, I am a mother of three. So my firm is actually more of a hobby than it is a career, so to speak. I do it from home mainly. It's a virtual legal business, and I do it in my spare time in between taking care of my three children.
Wow. Okay. So Tania. Cassandra. Cassandra. My question is, first, we're gonna let everybody know that this is my cousin that I've been raving about on.
Yes.
My beautiful cousin that I also
cousin/sister. She's more like a sister than a cousin, but okay.
Yes.
We are cousins, yes.
And I actually do the bookkeeping for you. I tell everybody about you, and I'm glad that there's actually a pretty face. Well, you're a pretty face. The Tania, the cousin that's not, that I don't consider a client, because I always say on my channel, I have a cousin I don't consider a client because it was she has no choice but to meet her keeper. So I am happy.
If I had a choice, I would still choose you. So
I know.
Just so you know.
Right. So what I want to know though, for your business. So could you explain for everyone else that probably would not know, like, what is a civil? What do you call a civil? What is, in layman terms, that's been a civil litigation? Like, what is that?
So civil litigation is a lawsuit between individuals or corporations. So essentially, it's one individual or corporation starting an action, a legal action against another individual or corporation. And that is very different from a action against the state or the government. So for example, civil litigation would be if you're suing your neighbor or your friend for owing you money or causing a nuisance or some sort of where you have damages that were caused by another individual that you're trying to have that individual compensate you for. So again, individual suing another individual or corporation instead of it being the actual state is charging you for a crime.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. And my other question is, so you only offer your services to people that live in Ontario, Canada?
Yes.
So you don't go out, you are not, your practice is not outside of that province?
No. So I'm a paralegal. That's only, I'm licensed to provide legal services in the province of Ontario.
Okay, so it's only for that
yeah.
province.
Yeah, we're governed by the Law Society of Ontario, only in this province, yeah.
Okay, I understand completely. Another thing is, what is the difference between you and a lawyer?
Good question. So I actually get that a lot. A lot of people think that I am a lawyer, but I did a college program, a paralegal program, where I learned how to provide specific legal services. The main difference between paralegals and lawyers is that paralegals have a much smaller scope of practice. So we can't deal with matters, for example, real estate matters, indictable criminal matters. We have a much smaller scope, so we deal with small claims court, for example. Anything above a certain limit that exceeds a certain claim amount, you would have to go to a lawyer for. So we only offer specific legal services.
Okay, because the reason why I asked too, because other than you, and obviously I would have known and found out about your business because of being family, and we talk so much, but I didn't know that there was such thing as a paralegal. I always thought that there was always just lawyers. So that was good to know. And what other?
Yeah.
Because I know too. I've seen on your website. No, this is a thing because I've been through your website, so I've seen that you also do. Do you still do the that people get tickets and stuff like that? Or no?
My firm, yes. I don't specifically do a lot of traffic tickets. I do more small claims and landlord and tenant matters. But I do have individuals associated with my firm that do traffic tickets as well. So speeding tickets, careless driving, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So you work then with, so when you say, all right, so when you say that you have specific individuals in your firm that does that, that means that there's other paralegals and a part of the firm that does with that specific area?
Yes.
Okay, well, obviously I knew that, but I just asked for in regards of the for the audience. So my question is, and I'm going to put you on the spot today because I know more about you than now. What made you? Because everybody, there are people. Everybody's out there. There's some people that are still in their jobs that would love to be able to come home and run a business and stuff like that. What made you and what encouraged you and give you that big jump? Because I've known you to work at your university for years. I even have that jacket that you gave me when I went to Canada.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I got that jacket, girl. And so my question is, what encouraged you so much to leave such an amazing place? Because I know you had loved working there, and I know it was
I did.
working there. To really, because I mean, that was a good job. It's not if you were miserable at work or anything like that. You were happy at work. So what gave you the drive to be able to take that big step from working in such an amazing job? Because people leave their jobs majority of the time because of stress, but that's not why you left yours. So what gave you the encouragement to leave that to be able to do what you're doing now full time? Well, I know
Well,
and then this is like part time, but so what gave you that encouragement though to be able to take that big jump? Because I know too,
well,
well, so
it was pretty much, I wanted to start working for myself. It's the freedom of it all. I mean, I had a decent salary and decent benefits, and I'd been there for a while, so I had quite a bit of seniority. But the thing for me was, I didn't want to request time off. I didn't want to have to ask somebody if I can go on vacation or if I could stay home today because my son was sick or anything like that. I wanted the freedom to set my own schedule, to decide how much I make. One thing I didn't like working there was that no matter how hard I work or how well I did, I would still bring home the same pay. So I know for a lot of people that was very discouraging for them. A lot of people would slack off because at the end of the day, they're getting the same paycheck. And the flip side of it, when you apply yourself, you're getting the same paycheck. So I wanted to do something that would allow me the freedom to choose my own schedule and to be in control of how much money I make. And so for me, I was working at the law school for quite some time, and I decided that I either wanted to be a lawyer or a paralegal. And I chose, I chose to be a paralegal just where I was at in my life at the time. I was married, had one child, was pregnant with the second one. And or did I already have her? It was around when I had my daughter. And I wanted more time to be home with the kids. And so I didn't want to go to law school for 3 years full time and have to pay close to $100,000 in tuition. But I knew I wanted to represent people in court. And so being a paralegal offered me that. It gave me an opportunity to provide legal services and represent people in court, which is something that I had an interest in and I knew I was very passionate about. But at the same time, I could go to school for a year or 2 years and be able to reach that goal and then have the power to work from home, which is what I'm doing right now, spend a lot more time with my kids, bring in as many clients as I want. Certain times of year, if I want to take a break, then I just take on less clients. Or if I want to ramp it up or gear it up, then I take on more. So I like being in control. I like being able to say, okay, I'm not going to work today, or better yet, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to work on something. And just to have that flexibility. Like right now, well, during COVID, it's a little bit different, but my regular schedule, I wake up in the morning, I get the kids ready for school, make breakfast, pack lunches, take them to school. I come home, put in a couple hours of work. I run some errands, come back home. If the kids need anything at school, I'm home during the day. Then I pick them up myself from school. I come home, do some more work, make dinner, do some more work, So I like the flexibility. I like the freedom. I like being in control of my own practice. So I think, and again, I mean, for me, my concern was security. But the thing is, with any business, with the proper planning and the proper time and the proper preparations, you can make it work. So of course, at first, I wasn't making as much as I did at my full-time job at the university. But after investing that time and that effort and that energy into building a solid practice, then it becomes something much more viable.
Wow. So hopefully you could encourage, I would love for that for surely to meet those upcoming paralegals. Maybe you should start a so my next
Yeah.
question is what, so I know, obviously I know these things that I'm asking you, but I know that you went into court a lot of times. So what would you say was your best case that you won?
Okay.
Obviously, with not giving like personal information or anything like that, but what is the best?
Yeah.
Came home and when you saw your husband, you're like, oh my God, what was it? Hopefully it's the one that you told me about, but we'll see.
The one that I told you, which one did I tell you? I have quite a few interesting ones.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm actually, well, you probably already know, I'm quite a boring person, to be honest, which is, I'm okay with it. But the cases that I enjoy the most, they're pretty straightforward. I do a lot of debt collection cases. So for me, it would be one of the ones where I was representing, ironically, an accountant. An accountant who had a client, and the client didn't pay for services. And essentially, the accountant came to me to sue the individual for the funds that they owed to the accountant, my client. And so we went all the way, and we ended up taking the matter through small claims court and getting judgment in the full amount owed, of course, plus interest and everything else for my client. So those make me very happy. Not because I'm a horrible person that likes going after people, but because we've all been in a situation where somebody has owed us money. And it's a terrible situation to be in, especially times like this. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and people, are being let go and working less hours and having a hard time paying their rent and paying their bills. And so I like helping individuals. And so for me to be able to help somebody like that who, collect a debt that's owed to them so that they now can provide for their family, I really like that. So I've had a few cases like that. And the one in particular, I remember getting quite a bit of money back for this accountant. It wasn't you, so you know that. I just want to let everybody know it wasn't you, but it was another accountant that I helped out. So that one was quite sasatisfying
I
because
think
I
that was
know
the same
that
one.
that
That was the
individual
same
needed the
one.
money.
That was actually the same one because we had a call with you because remember back then you do Tanya Cassandra does all my actual writing, so all my contracts you write up and I was looking for jobs, you write all my CVs. I know that you completely love to help people. I think it's probably something in our family. Our family is
Yeah.
like a blessing, really and truly, because we have a real passion for helping people, and we get that.
Yes.
Oh my God, even when we were having that initial conversation of merging our companies together with in for Canada, and
Yes.
that came off of you just looking to help me, your cousin, and that is, that's what life is all about, helping people. That's why I have this channel, to help people. But
Amen. Yep. True.
you are, and I personally can say this, that you are really a blessing to me. You
Oh, thank
help
you.
so much in my life, and that's like a whole nother video. So you've helped me out so much in my life, and I know that I can definitely count on you. So I know that anybody that ever uses your services is definitely really getting good quality service. And I'm not
Thank you.
my cousin, but because we are alike. That's why we consider ourselves like sisters. We are alike in so many different ways.
We are. Yeah.
I mean, also, even for our family, we are like the closest in cousins, because of how we communicate and stuff like that. We are,
Yeah, miles apart, but
yeah,
close.
apart,
We live in different
really close.
continents, but yes, close.
She's been trying her best to get me over there in Canada for sure. Haven't been successful yet, but we'll see. But yeah, so Tanya, I just so glad, Cassandra. So my first name is Kimberly. Her first name is Tania. And obviously for our business, we use our middle names. Her middle name is Cassandra. Mine is Elizabeth, so that's why I come on here. I say Kimberly Elizabeth. But yeah, so, and I actually got that concept from you, which you did. Today's the first day that I use Elizabeth for my channel and for my LinkedIn as well. So yeah, so what would you, let me see, before we go, I want to ask, what advice would you give anybody before they decide to get a lawyer, that somebody that's in Ontario and they're having trouble with, like you said, that same, like trying to, somebody would pay them or whatever, would you just say, well, somebody isn't paying you, they didn't pay you for 1 month, just come and get a paralegal? Like, how would you advise them to come to you so that when you go to court, that it's like, sort of like you have all your ducks in a row?
Well, a number of things. First of all, when you have an agreement with an individual, make sure that it's documented. That's step one. Always have stuff in writing, and that's to protect yourself, that's to protect the other person. So if it's just as simple as just writing down a contract or giving an individual a receipt or making sure you get receipts or invoices, always have that paper trail, and that's just to protect you in case a dispute arises. So in the event that a dispute does arise, let's say an individual is not paying you money that they rightfully owe you, the first thing that you're going to want to do is we're all individuals, pick up the phone and call them. and just let them know and see if they're willing to negotiate with you. Oftentimes, a lot of people run to go hire a lawyer or a paralegal, but that isn't necessarily the best thing to do because it's going to take time, it's going to take money. The court process is an expensive process and it's a very lengthy process. So if you're able to resolve the dispute without the court system, that's honestly the best way to go for all parties involved. So pick up the phone, make your phone calls. Again, try to get as much as you can in writing, send an email, that sort of thing. If that doesn't work, I mean, in the case of if somebody owes you money, oftentimes they avoid your phone calls, they don't answer, they don't return your phone calls. That's extremely common. So in that event, I would let them know that you do intend to proceed with litigation if they do not respond. And again, if you can, if you do have their email, put it in writing, just so it will protect you if you need to fall back on that as evidence. If they do not respond, then there's many, many different resources. So the first thing that you can do essentially is do your own research. For certain, it depends how much money they owe you. It might not be worth litigation. Again, it's very expensive. So if somebody owes you $50, you're not taking that to court. If they owe you $5,000, different story. So it really depends on your individual details, but you can do your own research. One really excellent resource is Legal Clinic. There are legal clinics in many areas in Ontario that are able to offer or provide legal services, usually pro bono, which like for free, in other words, or at discounted rates. So you don't have to run to go hire a lawyer. You don't have to run to go hire a paralegal. You can represent yourself. Just make sure that you do your research and you research your rights and the proper process. You can go to a legal clinic. There are also other resources. The Law Society website provides a bunch of resources for you to help yourself and to educate yourself. But if you do go the route of hiring a lawyer or paralegal, the best way you can help your case is to make sure that you've documented everything and that you've done everything you can to resolve the dispute without going to court first.
Wow. I think that will probably help a lot of people, even if they're not even in Canada.
Well,
because I mean, granted, obviously, yes, for me, the information you just give, I am sure that a lot of people can really look into using those steps as a basis. Obviously, for every country is different, and for every country, like different laws and different ways. But just going and
right.
information for yourself before just going out there and just spending money is always the best.
Yes.
It's
Educate yourself for sure, regardless of whether or not you plan to represent yourself, just so you're aware of your rights and you're aware of your options and the process. Competent lawyer or paralegal will do their best to settle your matter outside of court first anyway. That's just our duty is to try to resolve the disputes without wasting the court's time. So essentially, if this is something where we can just make a phone call and negotiate a settlement arrangement or a payment plan. Oftentimes people don't pay it back, not because they don't want to, but they're just having financial difficulty at the time. They just need longer to pay, or they'd like to make multiple installments or whatever it is. So it's just mainly an issue of trying to negotiate those terms to satisfy both parties. And so definitely do everything you can to try to resolve the dispute before going to court, and look at court as more of a last resort instead of an only resort. And that's my daughter's hand coming up. Like I said, I've got 3 children, so.
yeah. All right, Tania.
She's up from her nap.
Yeah. So we are actually on time. We actually made it to time.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's great.
Well, I don't actually have time for the channel, but I mean on time for getting you be able to do this before the kids wake up. Hey. So, all right. So, Yeah, so what I would do though, I will off screen take all your information, put it in the description, so that if anyone wants to get in contact with you, that they can.
Yes, and what I didn't get to talk about is you, my dear, and the role that you've played in building our law firm. So if I remember correctly, you started off with us as an executive assistant, and before too long, you went and started your bookkeeping journey business. And it's funny how you look back, because I see when you were doing, well, when you first started out with us as an executive assistant, you were doing our bookkeeping and accounting anyway. So, and you were doing it very well. So I don't know if it was then or before then when you realized that that was what you wanted to do, and you started your own business. But of course, I have to keep you. So you're still doing our our bookkeeping and all of our accounting work. So I would just like to say that I'm very proud of you and what you've achieved with your business. And I'm so happy to see you grow, and so happy to see what you've done on a global scale, which is amazing. And so God bless you, and never leave us.
Ever, ever,
Never, ever, 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 ever.
The
You do
funny
an
thing is
amazing
that
job.
then obviously being this is actually the first time that everybody's going to know I was your executive assistant, and I love it. You know, it's like freedom. It's like easy, and you're the first person that I work with online. And I remember when I had that call with you, and I was super excited. And then you gave me all this training, and it was when we hit that accounting mark that I think was the birth of it, you know. And so, you know, I mean, do have accountants in our family. It's like a deep, deep, deep thing.
Yeah, we do.
So it's no surprise going there. And we do have lawyers too in our
A
from
couple. Yeah.
our family. So I guess we are following the path of our family. And yeah, so but thank you. Thank you. I actually that's the first time that story come up. You know, you always so accustomed to
Yeah.
seeing a story that you forget all the rest. And I actually have to add the company actually on my LinkedIn page. This is something that I should
Yes, you do.
definitely.
And you do your job so well, so well. Have you told them that we actually partnered together to what? Well, the legal firm was originally a paralegal firm. Now it's a paralegal and bookkeeping firm, because we also offer bookkeeping services to individuals. First started off to lawyers and paralegals in Ontario, but really it's to anyone, any business owners in Ontario. And Elizabeth, um, directs that area of our business as well. So, I mean, if we're looking at professionals here, she's the professional. You're calling me onto your channel, however, she's really the professional. So
I completely look up to you. You have helped me out so much, and you know, and in talking to you too, you know, you have this little shy look to you or whatever, but you know, you always make sure that you bring me along, even when it is I had my first trip to Canada, and you took so good care of me. You know, it's one thing when you meet somebody in person. I mean, granted, yes, we're a family, so obviously we meet, but you know, it's one thing when you know somebody, and it's another thing when you know somebody. You know, because I have a lot of people that come on here, and obviously we only see them how they are on screen, but knowing you're the first person I know off screen, and first family member here. Hopefully he gets Sylvester on. He has a YouTube channel.
yes, you should.
And you know, and really and truly though, I must say that because of your help and assistance and like really helping me to be able to do so many things in my life so far, and then being the first online job I had. And even when I told you, well, I want to start my own bookkeeping business, you were like, go for it, go for it. Even to the point where you actually sent me a message and you were like, let's join together, And I'm like, oh my God, I would have never thought of that. And I thought that was just a really good opportunity at that point, because you're doing really well in your business, and to be able for you now to look at me that was now starting to do that, it truly meant a lot, and then I get to do your book, so it's even more fun.
Yes, it is.
I am going to be so happy to post up this video today. Anything else before I close it off?
No, thank you so much for having me on your channel.
And you definitely
Got my little one here, so my apologies. I'm working from home right now, so I'm literally just sitting in my kitchen and watching my daughter play in the living room. But thank you so much for having me on your channel. I'm glad that I finally got on here. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that we actually finally got a chance that we can talk about our journey, our bookkeeping and paralegal journey.
It's true. I definitely have to get you to come back. Definitely.
I want to thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed that presentation and meeting my cousin finally, because I always talk about her on my channel. You will know this, but she might not know. Well, I think she does watch the channel actually. But I am so grateful that she was able to come on, bless us with her presence. I have all her information in the description of the video, so you can contact her there if you have any questions, because I am no paralegal. I can't help you with that. And what I want to hear from you is what you took away from the video conversation that I had with her, and what you love most about the video. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.